Joining us now, former Homeland Security Secretary under President Obama, Janet Napolitano. Thank you very much for being on the show. Want to back up to 30,000 feet and ask you, as a former cabinet secretary, where does the state of our democracy and specifically our national security stand given the events of just the past week?
Oh, I think we all have cause for grave concern, and we've seen this process evolving over the last several years, but it's reached a fever pitch. And, the damage to the safety and security of the American people, the damage to our international reputation, the damage to our constitutional system is now quite clear. And, we have to rely on the process to work the way our founding fathers intended it to.
We want to get you on DACA in a moment, but let's stay there right now on national security. But what you're seeing, your thoughts on what you're seeing in Syria. You saw the president yesterday really tout this as not only a victory for the United States, he said it was a great day for civilization, the ceasefire, which apparently Turkey has already broken, according to reports this morning. He was very critical of your former boss, President Obama, for his policies there. What are you seeing here, and how do you think U.S. allies around the world will feel now that they've seen the U.S. betray the Kurds?
Well, I think it was a great day for Turkey and a great day for Russia. It wasn't a great day for the United States, and certainly not a great day for our allies, the Kurds, who have been abandoned by this administration. And if I'm an ally in another part of the world, I have to be thinking, how strong is that alliance, and will the United States really be there to back me up when I'm in trouble? And I have to say, it just makes us appear so weak.
For picking up on that, looking at the security of people in the country. I live in New York. I was here during 9/11. Our own security. How does this put us in danger when the rest of the world feel they can no longer depend on whatever we say and that we will be loyal allies? What does that mean to the average person watching today about our security if we are so unstable in terms of having the trust of other people that have been allied to us feeling they can't trust us anymore?
Yeah, so it's not good. And, Homeland Security, that I was the secretary of, is better when we have strong alliances, when we have strong information sharing, when we have strong intelligence gathering, when we have strong partnerships where we rely on each other. And all of these actions undercut those goals, and so ultimately it makes the country less safe. And beyond that, you have the hollowing out of the Department of Homeland Security itself, which is now led by an acting secretary who's announced his resignation, and all of the major components basically are led by non-Senate confirmed individuals. And so that department, which is responsible for Homeland Security, is operating on fumes.
That very department, Homeland Security.
Exactly right.
That's dangerous.
Secretary, can you just get into a little bit more? We talked about partnerships with our allies and what's going on at Homeland Security right now. Can you talk about the fact that there is no confirmed secretary? Donald Trump is very favorable of using actings, and he thinks it's good because he can control them in essence. But what does that really mean when you're looking at so many agencies, including Homeland Security, without a confirmed secretary?
So when you are confirmed, that confirmation comes with it a certain gravitas, as it were, and a certain authority that an acting simply doesn't have. And so to leave the Department of Homeland Security with an acting, to leave other departments of the federal government with acting. Soon we're going to have an acting Secretary of Energy. This is not good government. It's not good practice. It's not the way our system was designed to work.
Madam Secretary, I'm going to put you on the spot because Homeland Security, the word security is an important word. When we look at Trump's moves in Turkey, when we look at historically, whether it goes back to his Helsinki speech, is there any other explanation for his behavior other than Putin owns him? Whether it's a tape, whether it's money laundering, can you conjure up any other explanation for our president's behavior other than he is owned by Vladimir Putin?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on that.
Come on, speculate.
But I will say that during this administration, Putin has done very, very well, and our allies have not. And I think that should be, as I started off this interview, a grave concern to us all. It's just not right.
Briefly, as a final question on DACA, you're the president of the University of California. I realize you're leaving the post shortly, but tell us what you just did, the university just did in terms of the Supreme Court and the president's attempt to rescind that program.
Yes. So when the president attempted to rescind DACA, the University of California, through the Board of Regents, filed a lawsuit to enjoin that rescission. We have prevailed in all the lower courts. We'll be before the Supreme Court in mid-November. But in the meantime, there are some 700,000 young people in this country going to school, working, raising their families, who are all protected from deportation by DACA. And so there are real human lives at stake here.
Thank you.
Former Secretary Janet Napolitano, thank you so much for being on the show this morning.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.